Hey, what's up users, this is John at Muse for You, and I'm really excited to be doing today's video tutorial. I'll be showcasing my new e-commerce widget. It's the PayPal animated buy buttons widget that you can use for your e-commerce shop to integrate Adobe Muse with e-commerce. There's also I use a few different platforms. I use PayPal, Sellfy, Pulley, and Gumroad. But in this video tutorial, I'll be going over the PayPal widget, but you can find the different e-commerce platforms in my shop. So I'll go ahead and preview the widget. So I'll go to museforyoushop.com. And I'll close this here. I'll click on shop now. And the one I'll be going over today is the PayPal, but as you can see, we have PayPal, Pulley, Sellfy, and Gumroad, and you can purchase the complete bundle, the complete e-commerce buy buttons, animated buy buttons bundle. So I'll go to PayPal here because I'll be showcasing this one in today's video. And if I click on preview, it'll take me to the description page of the widget. And here we have the widget options. So actually I'll read here. You can choose from 54 different button variations. So there's 18 different sets of buttons, and I'll show you all the sets in a few, in a little bit. There's 18 different sets, and each set has 3 different variations, which makes it 54 different button variations for your PayPal button. And along with that, you can change just all the colors. All the colors are completely customizable. All the text is customizable. It's just really awesome, and you'll see the buttons in a second. You can link directly to your PayPal account, and with the other platforms, it's the same idea. But yeah, for PayPal, you can link directly to your PayPal account. You can choose from over 700 Google fonts. You can use fonts from Typekit in Adobe Muse. So if you like a font, web font in Adobe Muse, you can use it in this widget. You can choose from over 660 icons from the Font Awesome icon set, and I've updated it with the latest Font Awesome icons. So yeah, all of them are in there. They recently, I think, added a few more icons. So everything is customizable: button size, button text, button color, button font, button icon size, and more. Very good. And the zip file includes the .mule file, quick start user guide, and the license agreement, and just some info there. All right, very good. So here are the widget options. You can select for the PayPal options, excuse me. You can select your button type. You can set, and yeah, I'll show you the buttons in a second. I'll just get through the widget options here. But you can choose the button type. You can choose buy now, donations, and if you have a PayPal cart, you can choose add to cart. Very good. And then here you'll put the email to pay, the amount right here for your item. The language, you can pick the language for your item. So if wherever you are in the world, you can pick your language. Currency, you can pick the currencies that PayPal supports. There's quite a few. I know there's more than, maybe 15, 20, I'm not sure, but there's quite a few there. You can name your item. You can give your item an item number. You can add shipping cost, and you can add a tax rate, which is a percentage, and you can add a tax rate to your item. And then we go to the button options. You can pick an instance number. The best way to use the widget is to use a similar button throughout for less coding. But if you did want a few different variations of buttons, you can do that with the instance number. Just change the instance number, and you can have different variations, different type of buttons on your page. And I'll get more into that. You can pick the button type, button text before, and this will make more sense in a second. The font size and all the colors, and then you can choose a Typekit font if you erase, or if you add the Typekit font here, or if you erase this section here, you can select a Google font and use that. And this just leads to the museforyoushop.com website, and I have my terms of use there. And then here's the similar idea, but here you can add icons as well for the buttons with icons. Okay, so and to install it, you simply double click the .mule file to install. Style all the elements with the widget options, add text, and just style it with all the widget options. Okay, very good. So those are the widget options, and now to the good part, which is actually showcasing the buttons. So I'm going to click on the example site, and here I have 18 different examples of the buttons, and so this is kind of the cool part. So here are the animated buttons. Here's one example, and I'll click on 2. And here's another example. These are all animated, which makes it a lot of fun. and you click on them and they go to the PayPal account. And I'll demonstrate how to use the widget after I showcase a few examples. So I might not go through all of the examples in this tutorial, but I just wanted to showcase. You can just head over to museforyoushop.com and you'll get to see all the different variations of the buttons. All right, so it's quite cool. I mean, it's really fun. These buttons just add a lot of interest to the website and makes it more, adds more styling to the website. It's really fun. And I've added the Svg Draw widget up here for the intro title. So you can see we have these buttons here, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, you know, if you have a shop, you can really do a lot of great things with this. And again, you can use, I have it for the different platforms, Sellfy, Gumroad, and Pulley. So if you haven't checked those out, I'll leave links in the description area below. Very good. So I'll let you go through that, just go through all the examples, and you can click back to shop and it'll take you to the shop here. Very good. So I'll go ahead and give you a quick demonstration. So I'll just open up Adobe Muse, and I'll just recreate kind of the site that I just had. So I'll create a rectangle here, and I'll fill this I'll make it 100% width by hitting the 100% width button, and I'll fill it, I'll fill it with this red color I have here, and go to fill, just fill that in there. And then I'll add my Svg Draw widget for that effect that we had here. So I'll click on add file, and I believe it's, I want to say this one. No, it's probably one. Here we go. Yeah, so this is it. And then just change the height. I think it was 500. Very good. Let me close this here. Yep. And that should do it. And bring this down here. All right, let's preview that. So there's my Svg Draw, the intro there. And then I'll just add a few products. So I'm going to add my products here. 5. Yep, very good. And I'll just click, hold, and drag. Place it in there, and in there. And I'll just resize these real quick for my shop. And I'll say 200 or 250. Let's say 250. Very good. And I'm just resizing it here. So I'm moving fairly quick through this video tutorial just so I can showcase the buttons. And I'll resize this one here, select the crop tool, and resize that to 250, and resize the image frame to 250. I'll place this in the center, right there, looks good. And then one more, I'll just resize this to 250 as well. Very good. And we'll say 250. All right, great. So we'll just line that up there. Perfect. Very good. So now I'm going to add the buy buttons below each of these items. So I go to my library. If you don't see your library panel, simply go to Window, Library, and your library panel will show up. I have it here in the panel section, so I just click on it and it brings it up. So here I have my PayPal, Muse for You, PayPal animated buy buttons widget. So I'm just going to select the first one. I have, for the widgets, you have about 7 different buttons with icons, which are really cool. And then you have 11 that are just, I'll show you, that are kind of just text and animated text. And I'll show you a quick example here. So here we go. So here's the buy button. And there it is. I'll place it right below here. And if I preview in the browser, I'll hit Command-Shift-D. We can see we have this button here that animates. Very good. And I'm using the Winona, the button type. I'm using Winona. You have a few different ones. Ujarak, Wera, Tamaya, Rayan, and there's just a few different ones. And I gave credits to the code in the credit section for the code that was done for this widget. So yeah, very good. So Ujarak, I'll select that one. You know, I can select any ones, and there's quite a few different ones. So you can see it's pretty fun. But for this one, I'm going to change the color. So I'm going to change all these colors to match kind of the theme of the site. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go to Fill. I'm going to select the eyedropper tool, and I'm going to select this red. And then I'm going to save this to my swatches. So I'm going to click this little Add Swatch icon. and I'm going to click OK. And then I'm going to select the eyedropper tool again and select this red here and add to swatch by selecting this icon here, and it adds it to my swatches here. And now I'll click here and I'll say fill, I'll say none. Okay, so now I have those colors in my swatches, so I'll just go ahead, I'll make the first color white, the second color this red, third color this darker red, fourth color this lighter red, third color this darker red, and then we have a lighter red. Alright, so let me change this first color to the darker red. Alright, and you can play with the colors. Like if you don't see that this button is showing up very well, just play with the colors and change the colors, because if you set it to white and your background's white, you might not see the button. So I'll hit Command-Shift-E, and as you can see, we have our button there. I'm not quite crazy about the font. I want to change the font, so I'm going to select the button again, and I'm going to erase to use a Google font, and I'm going to select let's select I think Bangers is pretty cool. It's a cool text or a cool font right there. So I'll select Bangers and it'll change it there. Hit Command-Shift-E and there's my button. And I can make the text a little bit bigger to see that better. So I'll set it to like 22. There it goes. And I'll make the button a little bit wider so it's completely horizontal. Perfect. And I'll set it right there in the middle. Yeah, right there in the middle. Command-Shift-E, and there it is. Buy now. Cool. So that's the button, and I can go through a few different ones. And let's check out Alan. I think this one's really cool. Yeah, this one kind of goes down like that. That's cool. And then, yeah, so there's a few different ones. Wapasha. See, so yeah, you'll have to, if you don't quite see the colors, you'll have to, maybe change a few colors. Buy now. So we have a cool effect there. And so I'll just set it back to, or let's try Nuka. This one's cool. This one's very cool. Yeah, so let's pick a variation. Let's say Nuka 1. Very good. And we'll see. I might have to change a few of the colors. So that's pretty cool. I want to change that darker to a white. Yeah, so there's the buy now. And yeah, very cool. So that's a cool effect. And so let's say I want to add it for these other buttons. Oh, and I'll go over the PayPal options here as well. So for the button type, I want to say buy now. For the email, I'll say John at Muse for You Shop. Amount, I'll say 25. United States, you can pick from a bunch of different languages here. Currency, I want US dollars, but you can pick a few different currencies. Item number, I'm going to say 1. Shipping cost 0. Tax rate, we'll leave it at 8.5. And then I'm going to have it say buy now. There's no button text after for this button. A few buttons have a button after text, so where you hover over it and a different text pops up. And then font family, we'll leave it at Bangers. So I'll hit Command-Shift-E, hover over it. If I click on it, it'll bring me to John at museforyoushop.com. So here I am at the Muse for You shop. Sample item 25. Tax 2.13 because it's at a rate of 8.5%. So the total comes out to $27.13. So as you can see, you can really make a really awesome e-commerce shop with these buttons. So let's say I wanted the button for the rest of these. So I'll just hit Command-C to copy, then Command-V to paste. And there it is. I'll just copy this for the rest of these. And that's it. And then if I wanted to change the styling or the prices here, I would just do that. I recommend for this widget not doing too many variations. Like you can change the color, but if you have the same button throughout, it is less heavy on the code. So just for a shop, like having a cohesive look for the different buttons is good for that page. If you have a different page, you can have different buttons, but on a single page I'd recommend having one theme button, or the most I would do was maybe 3, but like different variations. But yeah, it's just a little bit easier on the code. So yeah, that's the buttons there. And if I wanted to use some text from Typekit, I would just first I would have to have the text on my website. And let's say I picked like rock salt here, and I typed in some text. Then I would go to Command-Shift-E. I would scroll down. I would right click. I would right click, inspect element, And then here in the font family, I want to select this rock salt right here. Very good. And then I want to click a button and then type in rock salt there with the semicolon. All right, or without the semicolon. Oh, okay, I think I know why. But yeah, and when you have multiple buttons, the last button is what's gonna affect your different, your other buttons. So, very good. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, so it's rock salt. Cool. So you can see that, so yeah, like let's say you have like 10 buttons, the last button is gonna affect all the other buttons because it's a cascading style sheet. So it's like looking at the last button for the options. So so this button, any changes I make to this last button will affect the other buttons. All right, very good. And yeah, so you can see it's rock salt and it's fairly big. So I'm gonna change the font size to like 20 to like 14. And that'll make the button smaller, and all the buttons will get smaller as well, as you can see, because it has the same instance number. And this is what I was saying earlier, you can change the instance number, so I can say like 3, and now I can give this button completely different different styling. So all the other buttons will have this 14 pixels font, and this one will have a different one because it has a different instance number. All right, very good. So just, just play with the options. I try to make it as customizable as I possibly could, but you can play with the options and just use the widget and kind of work with the different options to see what works best for you. Again, I'd recommend just having kind of one styled button so that you're not having multiple stylings in the code. But 1, 2, or I would say 3 is the most, and of different variations. But yeah. But it's not a big deal. Just play with it and see what works for you. Yep, for you. Yep, very good. So now I'm gonna showcase one other thing. I'm gonna delete these buttons here, and I'm gonna go to my library panel, and I'm gonna go to the PayPal animated by buttons with icons, so we can see a set with icons. So there it is. That's what it looks like here. And again, I'm gonna go to my options. I'm gonna change the colors. We'll start with white. Or let's start with dark red here, or this lighter red, and I'll do darker red, white, lighter red, and darker red. And for this one, I'm gonna pick Itzel. I really like this one. Now with this one, there's 21 different variations. There's 7 sets, and you can pick from there's 3 options in those different sets. And the one without an icon, there's 11 different sets, so there's 33 different options you can choose from there, and it just inverts the colors in the different sets and looks a little bit different. All right, so this is the Itzel option, and I'll just erase this to use the Google font, and I'll hit Command-Shift-E, and then I hover over it, and we have that PayPal icon, and it's a cool effect when you hover over it. And you can change the icon to any icon you want. Here where it says select icon, I can just select anything. Or let me select shopping cart because that would go with the theme. So I selected the shopping cart, hover over it, and there's the shopping cart icon. And again, if I wanted it for all the buttons, just Command V and put that in the center. Command V and put that in the center. Very good. Command Shift E, and all of them have the button. All right, very good. And I'll show you one more. Let's try Sack Night. Yeah, this one's cool. And let's do Sack Night for this as well. Sack Night. And one more Sack Night. Right here. Okay. So I hit Command Shift E. And so we have to change the color because you can see you can't see it that well. Let's do that. Let's do the darker red. Yeah, and let's try that. So we hover over it. Oops. So I'm going to change the last one again because the last one is going to override the other styles. So there we go. So I'll hit Command Shift E. And maybe I place this one as the last one. So let's change this one. And I'll hit Command Shift E. There we go. So that one's a cool one. And you can change the size of the Sack Night. So let's say I do like, yeah, let's say Sack Night, I've added the option to change the size. So you can say like 120 and it'll change it there. And then you can change the border size to like 70 so it covers the entire button. So I Command Shift E, and I'll have to do it to this one because this one is overriding all the styles. Oops, so let's say 120, yeah, and then 70. So again, you can just play with these options, and okay, I guess I have to do it to the last one too. All right, very good. So 120 and 70. Okay, there we go. So you can make them really big, and then I can change the icon size. And all of them, you can change the icon size. So the icon size is right up here. So I'm going to change it to, or I change the font size. Or no, it would be the icon size. Yeah, and I'll change it for all of them. So 22. So I'm just changing for all of them because I'm not quite sure which is the last one I've inserted. So just to make it easier, I'm just changing. Yeah, so there's the icons a little bit bigger, and we have that cool effect. But usually it's just the last one that you insert and then you change it for that. But yeah, you can experiment and see. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So like if I change this one 32 and I hit Command Shift E, yeah, so this second one is the last one I've inserted, so that's why it's a little bit, yeah, very good. So if I change the second one, the other ones will change. Yeah, you can make it as big as you want, the icon size, so like 48. And yeah, just have a lot of fun with it. Very cool. And then again, if I click on it, oops, I'll zoom out. If I click on it, it'll take me to PayPal. And yeah, it's the same thing. You just set up the PayPal options here, and it'll take you to your PayPal account. And if you wanted to add even more animation, you could add the Animator widget that you can find at museforyoushop.com. Yeah, excuse me, museforyoushop.com. It's in my shop. Then you simply just bring in the Animator widget. You select the additional one first. Just place it into your Adobe Muse website, and then give each of the icons a graphic style name. The graphic style name here, which is Animate 1. So I'll select all of these buttons and say here, and I'll say Animate 1. I selected this little kind of paper icon to add a new graphic style. Then I rename the graphic style, the style name, the graphic style name, Animate 1. I'll click OK. And then here in my animator, I can say I wanted to shake on hover. On hover, very good. And I could do infinite. We'll do without infinite first, and then I'll do infinite so we can have a little fun with it. So we scroll down, it shakes, and the button animates. Very nice. Cool. And then I can do like infinitely shake, so I can infinite loop here where it says infinite loop. I say yes. Then I hit Command Shift E, and then it infinitely loops. That's pretty cool. All right, cool. So that's pretty much it for the PayPal animated buy buttons, and you can do just a lot with it. There's a lot of options, and it's a lot of fun to really add a lot of interest to your e-commerce website. You know, again, if I go to, let me close this because I have a lot of tabs open. But if I go to museforyoushop.com and I just close this here, I'll go to shop now. We have the PayPal, which is what I just went over. And if you preview example site, you can just, preview all the different options you have. And it's not even all of them. I mean, it is in a sense that all the different animations kind of are in there, but you can customize color and size, make it scalable, customize font. Just pretty much everything is customizable. So that's a lot of fun. And I used, for this demo, not all the pages are using the Animator widget. There's a few that I did, few buttons that I used the Animator widget for. I used the Svg Draw widget for this intro here. And I used the PayPal animated buy buttons for the buttons here. Very good. And you can just click on the different examples and just see the different examples. Very good. So I'll just click on back to shop, and it takes us back to the shop. And if I click on products, we have here the PayPal animated buy buttons, and you can preview the description site, preview the example site, which I went over, and add to cart. And very good. And so these buttons are also available for Pulley, which is another e-commerce platform. and Sellfy as well, which is another e-commerce platform. And I've also created it for Gumroad, which is also another e-commerce platform. So all the buttons that I just went over in this video tutorial are available for these different platforms, and they work very similar, except that you add your link. So for example, let me just open up a new site in Adobe Muse. I'll click OK, and I'll open this here. I'll go to Library, and let's say I want to add the Sellfy animated buy buttons. I'll just bring it in here, and for the options you just enter the Sellfy product key, which is usually for characters at the end of your product at the end of your product link, which is the product key. And you can have the Sellfy pop-up. So I have a product here, I'm just going to enter it right there. That's my product key. If I hit Command Shift E and I click on it, the Sellfy pop-up will come up, and I can click on buy now, and it'll take me to the PayPal. Very good. And I can also select to not have the Sellfy pop-up come up, and just click here and it'll just take me to Sellfy. Very good. And the same with the pulley. If I just bring in the pulley button, it asks for the pulley link here. And for the there's one more, there's the Gumroad. If I can find it, right up here. And I'll just click, hold, and drag and bring that in. And here you just type in your Gumroad link. So I think I have one called Svg Draw Widget. I'll just click there, and I think it's this one here. And it just takes me to the Gumroad shop that I have here. So for all of these, for Gumroad, you just go to gumroad.com. It takes you there. Just open up a shop there. Sellfy, you go to sellfy.com. You can open up a shop there. And Pulley, you would go to pulleyapp.com. And you can open up a shop here. And the other one was just PayPal, so you can just use PayPal. You open up a PayPal account, paypal.com. Just open up an account, and you can link your buttons to your PayPal account. Very good. And you can sign up for free, which is great. All right, sounds good. So that's it for this video tutorial. Again, you can just go to museforyoushop.com and just check out my shop. Just click on shop to check out the shop. There'll be more links in the description area below, and there'll be links to different resources below as well. Subscribe if you like this video. I'm constantly coming out with videos. I have a 5-minute series. If you want to learn the basics of Adobe Muse quickly, I have a 5-minute series where I'm uploading videos almost every day to help you learn Adobe Muse and learn the basics quickly. Adobe Muse is a great platform, and I'm just trying to merge the best of the web with Adobe Muse using with these widgets. I'm trying to merge some really cool ideas on the web with Adobe Muse and just make it really fun to use and help you create awesome websites without code. I think that's pretty much it. That's it for this video tutorial. I pretty much went over quite a bit of information there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video tutorial.